So we've got Neptune squaring Mars. So we've got Mars there in Gemini still, approaching the anaretic degree. Neptune at 28 degrees there, Mars at 28 degrees. Another mutable square. And they met in Pisces on the 28th of April in conjunction. And this is an opening square. So it's like new moon energy when they meet. And then the opening square, first square when they separate, is like first kind of adjustment of, okay, what needs looking at now? What do we need to change? Whatever they started together. So again, this is mainly going to affect mutable people, particularly Pisces people where they met in Pisces, but also Gemini, Virgo, and Sag. Okay, what did you think, Janessa?
Whenever I hear Mars and Neptune, I always think back to a talk I heard our teacher Adam Allenboss give about how that signature in a birth chart can be things that are like spiritual physical activity. So like martial arts or yoga. I think he even put like surfing in there, or like, soaking in a hot tub or a sauna. So those are kind of like the activities that come to mind in general for me, like during a transit like that. Like it could be very literal of like maybe there's like a surf competition or or a martial arts competition that is happening in your life. But yeah, thinking about those Mars significations of like action orientated activities, even things like transportation or cars or like anything with an engine. And then like the Neptune adding like this weird layer of mystique or spirituality to it, and kind of like how those might interact in like a dynamic square way where there's a lot of like tension, but like action being taken archetypally, how I see that. I don't know. What do you think of, what are your thoughts on that?
Sort of wrote down like happiness is a fleeting state of mind rather than a permanent status update. And I was listening to somebody talking about that this morning of apparently something Oprah said as well, that don't seek happiness, seek happier. Just like as something you can do, because happiness isn't a way of being. Quite often most of us live mundane lives, even like this wealthy yachter. You just think of him at the moment, that's the yacht that sunk, which is very Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, but he had all these troubles in his life, that money doesn't bring a happy life, certainly, or family doesn't always bring a happy life, because there will be Martian conflicts and tensions within a family, usually, unless you've got, does anybody have the perfect children and the perfect wife? And if you do, does then boredom seep in? It's like, can you get the perfect happy setup? All we can really do is seek to be happier, and to recognize happiness when it comes, and to realize that it's like a fleeting moment of, oh yes, this is a happy moment, and to just take a mental snapshot of it, or an Instagram literal picture and post it or something and share it, rather than to seek that nirvana status, that Neptunian. I mean, again, not to get too deep, but our teacher Adam Mellenbass talks about us all being in the fish tank, and that some people seek to leave the fish tank, that they think they're seeking some sort of transcendence, and they think that's their happiness, whereas actually realizing that we're all in the fish tank, and that is our life, and we can live our lives out in the fish tank in any way we choose. But we're contained within the fish tank. We are human beings on Earth, and we can be a soul on Earth, but we are earthbound. And that is our life. And that this seeking of transcendence is that what we're supposed to do here? Or are we here to actually just live an earthbound life in whatever way we see fit, to enjoy it? Is that our purpose? And maybe that's what Neptune is here to teach us. And maybe those illusions and delusions are giving us a fog because we're not in the right place. And again, the fog lifts, and then we have these insights. But maybe sometimes Mars is calling us to adjust and get closer to a happier place, and that Mars can be calling you to take some smaller adjustments to your life that might get you happier,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite nice.
Yeah.